Welcome to this episode to our book day with you session. The best book recommend to you. Today we were going to talk about this book, The Right of a Lifetime by Robert Iger. Yes, I'll pass to you, Gideon.
Hi everyone. Today we are talking about this leadership book by Robert Iger. Robert Iger is the American businessman who served as the CEO of the Walt Disney Company between 2005 and 2020. And he's previously the president of ABC Television between 94 and 95, and the president and COO of the Capital Cities, or the company called ABC, from 95 until ABC is acquired by Disney in 1996. So Iger was named the president and COO of Disney in 2000, and he succeeded Michael Eisner as CEO for Walt Disney from 2005. So on 2020, Bob Shepard has succeed Robert Iger as the CEO, Disney CEO, and Iger continued as the chairman, as executive and board chairman until he was replaced by Susan Arnold on December 31st, 2021. So today we are talking about this strategy book, and Mickey Mouse Company, right? And the three strategy that Robert have guide him throughout his tenure as the CEO. And there are three strategy for him. First is create a highest quality content Disney could produce. Second one is embrace and adopt technology instead of fighting it. And the third one is think bigger, think global, and turn Disney into a stronger brand in international markets. So the idea can be concluded in 10 principles, and today we're going to share with you the 10 principle.
Yeah, before we go to the 10 principle, I'm a big fan of the Disney. Yes, from the Disney movie to the understanding how the whole company built by Walt Disney. And he's such a great leader that can really build the whole empire from the company to building all the Disneyland that is become the loving place for all the people that go to visit. So now I will going to share a little bit of screen while he didn't want
Yeah,
to.
let me go through the 10 principle of true leadership according to Robert. The first one is optimism. Optimism to him is a pragmatic enthusiasm for what can be achieved. Even in the face of difficult choice and less than ideal outcome, an optimistic leader does not yield to pessimism. Simply put, I mean, truly to say, people are not motivated or energized by pessimists. Pessimists, can lead to paranoid. Paranoid can lead to defensiveness. Defensiveness can lead to risk aversion. And in difficult moments, especially now, the people you lead need to feel confident in your abilities to focus on what matters and not to operate from a place of defensiveness and self-preservation. So this is not about saying that things are good when they are not, or about tell people that things will work out. No, this is about believing you and the people around you can stir toward the best outcome, and not communicating the feeling that all is lost or things will not become your way. So the tone you set as a leader has a lot of effort on the people around you. And true to be said, no one wants to follow a pessimist. So as a leader, think about this. Even though in the worst of time, we need to be a pragmatic optimist, right?
Yeah, this is something you didn't always remind me because sometimes I can get a little bit of negative side. They say, yeah, you have to go to a little bit optimistic about that situation. I said, yes, that is something that we learn from all the great leaders in the world. That yeah, about true leadership, we need to be optimistic. So let's go to the second
The
one.
second principle is courage. If you read this book, there are so many difficult times that Iger have gone through. It's tremendous. So to him, courage is a principle, a very important thing. It's the foundation of risk taking. And in ever changing, disrupted business nowadays, risk taking is essential. Innovation is vital. And true innovation occur when people have courage. So the foundation of risk taking is courage. For Robert, Walt Disney have to gone through so much of disrupted business model because time changed so fast, especially in their entertainment world. So they need a lot of amount of courage. It means intentionally you take on short-term losses
Mhm.
and hope that in the long term the risk will pay off. If you think like that, it's not easy because you have board of stakeholders to report to. You have people looking at your stock price. So it's not easy to convince them that you have to take short-term losses so
Yeah.
that you in long term you can survive. So another thing I like about this book is he talk about take responsibility when you screw up.
Mm.
In work, in life, you will be more respected and trusted by the people around you if you own up your mistakes. It's impossible to avoid mistake, but it's possible to acknowledge them, learn from them, and set an example that it's okay to get things wrong sometimes.
Yeah, this is something I love so much when you highlight the sentence about take responsibility when you screw up. Because sometimes we make mistake. It's okay that we admit that and we learn from the mistake and we move on. So this is something
Yeah,
absolutely,
especially leaders,
yeah.
they have their ego, right? So yeah,
We are not perfect. We just learn in the process and we improve.
yeah,
That I can see how myself improve along the journey as well. As I mentioned, I'm not perfect as well. It's just how I get learn from my mistake and improve along the journey. So let's go to the
the
third
third
one.
one is focus. And I think the book show a lot that Robert uh, focus on one of the thing at a time. Okay,
Mm,
and the next one is decisiveness. And I think as a leader, you have to make the decision when it's time with the limited information you have. So you have to have the courage to make the decision, whether it's wrong or right in the future. The next one is about curiosity. Curiosity is very interesting. It's actually the path to innovation. I think we talk about the importance of innovation just now. But how the innovation start? The innovation begins with curiosity. Okay, the next one is about fairness. And I like this a lot. Iger talk about be decent to people, treat everyone with fairness and empathy. But it doesn't mean that you actually it doesn't mean that you lower your expectations or you convey the message that mistake don't matter. It does matter, but it means that you create an environment where people know you hear them out, you hear about your emotion, uh their opinion, but you give them second chance for honest mistakes. So it just be true to people that following you. Okay,
mm,
so this is about fairness. Yeah, and the next one is thoughtfulness. um, I think this book show a lot that Robert always think about how in the process how he gained the knowledge,
mhm,
and how he make the decisions. So it's about taking time to develop informed opinions. So you have to go as a leader, you have to gone through a lot of thoughtfulness process before you make something decisions. So it's talking about thoughtfulness. And the next one is about authenticity. So I think this book show a lot that true authenticity, authority, and true leadership come from knowing who you are and not pretending to be anything or anyone else. You know,
yes.
I think this book talk about if you look back on the acquisitions that Walt Disney have take over Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm, all these gone through depending on building trust with with the founder or the owner of that company, and there are many complicated issues, to negotiate all these deals. But in the end, you have to look at authenticity of both parties. Just like Pixel, Steve Jobs have to believe Iger that the promise that he made, that he will respect the essence and the origin of Pixel. And Marvel have to believe that Pixel, Walt Disney will give them a chance to thrive, to grow. And for Lucasfilm, George Lucas have to trust that his legacy, his baby Star Wars, would be in good hands after he's no longer here or when Disney take over. So this have to be built to because we trust each other, trust the authenticity of the person, of Robert, right?
Yeah, I can relate that so much about authenticity. A lot of time about leadership, we lead from our authentic self. We are not pretend to be anyone else or anything. We want to lead from our own self. That is the time that people can see the real you, and people can relate to that so much. They know that, yeah, this is the leader that I want to follow. So
Yeah,
this is exactly this point of talking about authenticity.
yeah.
So let's
Especially
go.
in this time, I think the younger generation, they want to see authentic leaders. Yeah. So the next one is about the relentless pursuit of perfection. So I actually put it down as relentless pursuit of perfection. We are not that it doesn't mean that we are perfectionism at all costs, but we are trying, or pursue it to be a perfection. And it means a refusal to accept mediocrity, or make excuses for something being good enough. So for him, a lot of time, he doesn't have the time or the resources, or people allow him to be perfect in making decision, but he tried to be perfect. I think this is a thing that we need to have in mind, that we want to pursue to be perfection. Yeah. And the last one,
Part. I love this part so much is
yeah,
because I believe that especially Gideon, you know about my tagline that I always say is do your best.
yeah,
So do your best. I strive for the best that I can do, but I'm not a perfectionist. I don't wait until everything is perfect. Only I go to launch it or go out. But it's like I do not accept mediocrity. That is not. I have the level of excellence that I am striving for. So that's why this part is talking about the relentless pursuit of the perfection. Let's go to the
the
last one.
last one quite important, and is about integrity.
Mm,
And I like this quote so much. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. So if you want to judge a person, or you're thinking how a person act, just see how he do or she do anything, and you will know how she or he do everything. And you talk about not to fake anything.
mm,
You have to be humble. You can't pretend to be someone you are not, or to know something you don't know, or pretend you know something, because you are in a position of a leadership. People will know, right, if you are fake or not. And also, you need to be a balance. You can't let your humility prevent you from leading. I mean, you can't to be too humble to prevent you from leading, but you can't be you can't fake also. And you have to ask a question you need to ask, admit that without apology, to learn as quickly as you can, and then lead, right? So I think this is quite important to especially to Robert, when he's leading the company that he don't know much. He have to admit that I don't know, I want to learn from you, but he also know that he is in the position of leading. He's
mm.
a leader, and he have to make the decision as quickly as possible after he learned. Yeah.
Yes. You know, I love crazily in love with this sentence is the way you do anything is the way that you do everything. this is something that I learned from one of my mentor as well before reading this book, that I always highlight about this to a lot of people, but there is a lot of different point of view. I would say a different point of view when they say, no, it does not apply to whatever I do. Then I say, let's observe from here is how you do this. Is you going to apply the same way that you do any other thing about your work, about how you treat your friends and family members, or anything, anybody. So that's why I always love to observe people, how they do anything. The small little thing that matters. The small little action they do, they can really see how it's a real character of someone that you see how they're going to apply to the big situation or circumstances or scenario that time. So integrity, it really
That's all I
concludes.
want to say I did today. The 10 principle. And if you are a leader or want to be a leader, you must read this book, right? Yeah.
Highly recommend. And Gideon and I would love to hear from you that we share the 10 principles. Which one is giving you the aha moment? That let us know, give us the comment below, and see you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.